And those are basic fundamental things that I think are very, very important to being successful. And that's something that we've really emphasized. I think the players have done a pretty good job so far this week. So, we got a tremendous challenge against a really good team on the road, SEC game, game day, all the things that make great games. So if you're a great competitor, you love great challenges, and this is certainly going to be a great challenge for us in what we expect to be a difficult environment. So Bryce continues to practice a little bit more. We got him on a little bit of a pitch count just to kind of wean him back into it and see how it goes. So we expect him to do even a little more tomorrow. So that's all I really have to say about that.
As the season progresses, does a team get better at playing on the road, getting used to the environment, the noise of a road environment?
Well, I think, the first time you do it, it's probably a little bit of a challenge for players that have never done it before, especially at certain positions where being able to communicate and hear, whether it's snap count, whatever, probably inability to communicate on defense if it's loud. Those things probably affect inexperienced players a little bit more than they do the guys that have done it before. But I think by this time, we've played a couple road games. You hope that experience has enhanced, the guys on the team's expectations of what's going to happen, how it's going to be, what they have to overcome, how they need to play, how they need to focus, in that kind of environment.
There's been a lot of talk this week about all the pressure in the defensive package that's got Will and Braswell and Turner on the field together, and what they did against Texas A&M pass pressure-wise. How good is that group against the run? And by that, I mean the whole 11 in the grouping, not just those three guys. And how important is that against a Tennessee team that's hard to substitute against?
Yeah, well, we don't really play those guys all together in run-down situations. We play two of the three, and obviously, that's part of it. But I think until you get to third down, and every team has kind of a break point of when they're not running the ball, on third down very much. And we can still stop the run with stunts, but there's different kind of runs on third down too that you have to stop. So, we work a little each week on those guys being in the game and being able to stop the run, but that's a specialty package for passing situations. So more difficult to play if there's a threat of the run, on a down and distance. So we have a break point where we'll put them in the game. We're always prepared if we can't substitute on third down to play with the nickel people that we have in the game. And most of the time, it's at least two of those guys.
Just wanted to quickly ask you about Jalen Moody and the progress he's made with that bruised kidney.
He's practiced all week, so and he hasn't had any complications, so I think he'll be okay.
We're going to go to the far left with Mason.
Hey, Coach, just as the week in, week out grind of not only being physically fit but mentally fit, what do your players and coaches do just to make sure they're still ready to perform week in and week out at the highest level?
Well, I think that's always the challenge. I think it's a challenge for each player. I think it's a challenge for each and every one of us to make a choice. You've heard me talk before about you're going to do what you feel like doing, or you're going to choose to do the things you need to do to accomplish the goals that you have the success that you want to have. And I think every player's got to make that choice. And I think more mature competitors really understand how important that is to maintain a psychological disposition to do things the way you need to do them to have success. But that is a challenge. It's a psychological challenge for every person, every player. I mean, you all, I don't care what your job is, it's a personal challenge to, be the best version of yourself every day and not accept less than that. And that's a choice. And, when you say, I don't feel like going to work today, or I don't feel like practicing today, obviously you're not going to be playing to the level that you need to play to. So we're constantly trying to get our players to understand, how do you have to edit your behavior, make the choices and decisions that are going to help you accomplish the goals that you have. And all these guys want to create value for the future, so that also creates value for them as well.
Two more. Nick and then Nick.
Your third down defense is one of the top ranked in the country. What have you liked so far from your group on third down?
Well, I think that we've done a good job of affecting the quarterback, which is always, beneficial on third down. I think we've done a pretty good job of disguising and mixing things in the back end. Done a fairly good job of covering. So, it's a combination of all 11 guys doing what they're supposed to do that I think, helps you be effective and understanding the situation and playing the situation that you're in, and everybody doing what they're supposed to do. And most of the time when we haven't had success on third down, it's, a mental error or missed assignment or something like that. So, hopefully, some of the offensive team we're playing this week is going to be much more challenging. So everybody's going to have to, play as well as they're capable of playing and do it all together as a unit for us to be successful against this group.
We'll finish up with Nick Alvarez.
Will Reichert's missed a couple the last few weeks. He's been so consistent for so long. At what point do you go over and talk to him, or you try to check in on him and that unit that's had a couple miscues?
Will's been kicking for a long time. We've got a lot of confidence in him. Nobody can make every kick, but I just don't want him to press. I don't want him to feel like there's any anxiety or pressure for, him to do something. He obviously made the game-winning kick at Texas, and he's been a very consistent, guy for us, and we have a lot of confidence in him. And I don't usually feel like there's any reason to go sort of. When I talk to the guys, it's usually to tell them they did a good job, and if they don't hit a good one, punt a good one, kick a good one, it's, hey, forget about it, focus on the next one. Because those guys aren't like players. They don't play 70 plays in a game. They're like assassins. They got one shot. They got to make it count, and that's the mindset they have to have. So to focus and be prepared to do it the next time is probably the most important thing. All right, so I got a question. Am I allowed to ask a question? This Yankee shirt you got on, is this for real, or you is just show?
Well, I got back from the game yesterday, so that's what I think.
You a Yankee fan? All right, that's good. I like that.
You guys have two of them over there.
A couple allies you never knew you had.
Yeah, I think you're probably a miss, right? You had your opportunity to I was really
You wait, you're right, for a team, and I'm coming back.